Momentan ist Louisiana eine spanische Kolonie, aber ich werde den Vorschlag machen. Warum erzählt... Ja, das ist jetzt wirklich so... Warum erzählt er mir das?
But how does that concern me?
Well, you see, I prepared this project with your mother. We began thinking about a crazy idea. Unfortunately, Sarah went missing before getting the bigger picture. I don't intend to stop at Louisiana. My idea is to increase the territory of the United States. The first stone of this vast project consists of getting Spain to cede Louisiana to France. Once it becomes French, France will hand it over to the United States, which will then allow them to double the size of their territory. And that's where you come in. France and the United States, hand in hand, two democracies illuminating the world.
Ausmaß des Projekts, wie weit geht das Projekt, aber warum erzählt er mir das? Ja. Wie weit geht das Projekt?
Why spread it over 2 phases? Why not announce the overall project immediately?
Unfortunately, if Spain were to hear that the intention of all this is to allow the United States to grow, they would never sign. Manuel Godoy is perfectly aware of President Washington's appetite. If the United States took Louisiana, Godoy would know full well that he will have lost the entire North American continent. Things must take place in several stages. Otherwise, the change will be too brutal, and he will have no choice but to reject the project. Take a look at them. Apart from President Washington, they all belong to monarchies. Do you really think they won't resist? Of course they'll fight, fearful as they are of losing their precious privileges. But the world needs visionaries, like you, like your mother. It's a pity Sarah isn't here to see it. She only knew about a tiny part of the project. I hope I can count on you, Louis. It's time to start now. I must ask you to keep it to yourself for the time being. Take a seat, follow the discussions. We will have an opportunity to catch up later, and you'll be able to let me know your thoughts.
Ich hoffe, da kommt jetzt so eine Videosequenz, in der ich jetzt nichts machen muss.
You didn't know about everything. His project is commendable. Why tell me to beware? Could you have gotten it wrong?
Oh Gott, ich hoffe, das ist nicht so eine Diskussionsrunde wie gerade am Anfang mit unserer Mutter. Alter, da habe ich jetzt keine Lust drauf. Und ich soll die dann alle überzeugen, oder was? Meine Politikpunkte sind leider nicht so hoch.
First of all, I would like to thank you for taking the time to come.
The honor is ours, my lord.
As per our custom, here we are all together to discuss the face of tomorrow's world. Even though there may be certain tensions between our nations, I must ask you to keep an open mind. As Sarah de Richet is unable to be among us, please welcome Louis de Richet, who will represent the Golden Order and will vote on its behalf when the time comes.
Welcome among us, Louis.
Welcome, Monsieur.
I hope he'll be more effective than his mother regarding the protection of the King of France. The Order has proved particularly inefficient.
Come, Manuel, you're not going to spoil our visit. The Order's mission was not to protect King Louis XVI, as far as I am aware.
We are talking about a king of divine blood, for goodness sake. It seemed obvious to me he needed protecting. If the Golden Order wants to pride itself on being an influential organization, it should have kept him alive.
Es war offensichtlich, dass er Schutz für eine Wenn der Goldene Orden zu... Ich nicke mal wortlos. Warte mal, nee, wenn der Goldene Orden so eine einflussreiche Organisation sein will, hätte er sein Leben beschützen sollen. Ich nick mal wortlos. Ich weiß nicht, ob das was bringt.
Perhaps we may begin, Lord Mortimer.
Certainly.
Ich hätte vielleicht zurechtweisen sollen, weil, aber ich weiß
that our
nicht.
nations will continue to support each other, more now than ever before. A dream that, for the sake of common good, we will do what it takes to ensure stability in the modern world. I have a dream that we shall lead by example and ensure that the American territory may remain in peace.
Thank you for the thought, Lord Mortimer. But I don't see where you're leading.
I'm coming to it, Mr. President. I need not remind you that North America is currently divided between the United States on the east coast and Spain, which occupies the remaining 2/3 of the continent. Well, I propose that Spain cede the center of the continent to France, namely all of Louisiana.
Louisiana? But, well, it is not for sale. Lord Mortimer, I sincerely hope I have not come all this way just to hear you ramble on about what Spain should and should not do. When we went to all the trouble of gaining the territory a few years ago, it was not just to lose it today. Have I made myself clear?
What did I tell you, William? You speak of union, and yet here you are, about to tear us apart.
Duke Manuel, I perfectly understand you. But rest assured, you will soon adore my proposition. You shall see.
Well, since you give me the choice, my good fellow, allow me to doubt it. However, I am impatient to hear what Spain could possibly gain from the sale of Louisiana.
I never spoke of a sale, my good fellow.
What? But I do not understand.
There is one more territory left to conquer, if I'm not mistaken, in the northwest. It is, of course, occupied by your notorious Indians, but...
We shall soon be rid of the savages, so that is not a question.
Duke,
geht mir auf den
these
Senkel.
savages, as you call them, were there before you. They are on their homeland.
As much as the black people of Africa, Monsieur de Richet. That does not stop your dear France from massacring them and sending them like cattle to Mr. Washington's cotton plantations to provide him with cheap labor. So you keep your morals to yourself, if you please.
Senor, I would not like to be
Ich
associated
glaube, wir werden
with
die nicht
that.
überzeugen.
The subject of black slaves in the United States of America is a complex subject, which we shall resolve at a future date.
Dieses dreckige Schwein. Ihn provozieren. Frankreich bleibt bei... Ich ruinier's mal.
Senor Godoy, you must know that France will soon ban these barbaric practices.
Oh, do not get on your high horse, Monsieur Frenchman. The only reason why France has ceased trading in slaves is because of the commercial blockade that Great Britain has imposed against you. The instant the shipping lanes have been restored, France will again treat these people like cattle.
Come now, my friends, let us not digress. Anyway, these primitive people have no souls, Louis. We bring the good word to them in order to save them. You'll see. Colonization brings with it many benefits, too.
Excuse me, if you don't mind, Your Eminence, I shall continue. Duke Manuel, I believe that Spain should cede Louisiana to France free of charge.
This is utterly grotesque, Lord Mortimer. What a strange example you set for your young protégé. Isn't that so, Monsieur de Richet? Do you understand anything of this proposition?
If I were you, Senor Godoy, I would think twice before stirring up a scandal.
I beg your pardon?
Given the size of your colonies, you won't be able to keep them for long. A number of countries are eyeing them as we speak. The United States would have no trouble taking them. For all intents and purposes, you have no army in place. By wanting to keep everything, you risk losing it all, especially your colonies in South America, which are far more valuable to you.
That is indeed the danger, Duke Manuel. If it comes to war over Louisiana, you will lose. And probably a good deal more than you now imagine.
Young man, you are indeed a dark horse, aren't you?
Oh, zum
I
Glück.
must say, William, I find your project mostly disfavors me. I thought you were my friend.
And I am, Mr. President. That is why I'm doing everything in my power to calm your expansionist fervor. France, in Louisiana, should persuade you not to attempt anything to take the territory by force. Louisiana is a vast wetland where you would needlessly lose most of your troops. It would weaken you and offer certain
da tut dir gerade
nations
durch die
the
Blume sagen,
perfect
dass die das
opportunity to
bekommen.
take
Kann das
back
sein?
your famous United
Gut, ihr wisst ja, um was es
States.
geht, aber
I am
trotzdem.
protecting you from yourself, George. Trust me.
I understand. But with friends like you, sir, I certainly don't need any more enemies. I hope
Ja,
you
das
know
glaube
what
ich auch.
you're doing.
Klack.
Am I imagining things, or does it look like Washington isn't aware of Mortimer's plan?
Not to put too fine a point on it, Lord Mortimer, but I doubt the Holy See would be in favor of Catholic Louisiana being handed over to secular revolutionaries and king killers.
I should think Monsieur de Richet has an opinion on this subject, does he not?
Ich denke doch, dass auch unser... ich denke doch, dass auch oh Gott, oder wenn nicht Frankreich wird, Christen beschützen Frankreich, kann die päpstliche Meinung egal sein. Mortimers Wettkarte. Belesenheit. Versauen muss mal weiter.
On the maps of Italy I saw in Mortimer's secret study, he had anticipated... I wouldn't be surprised if he's planning an invasion of Italy by France. And if I push the notion a bit further, I can well imagine that Bonaparte's cannons, financed by the Order, will be used for that purpose. The noose is tightening around poor Piaggi's neck without him even realizing it.
I don't know if I'm the best person to speak about that, Your Eminence.
Ach Gott, ich glaube nicht, dass ich mir anmaßen kann, über das Thema weiter zu reden. Vorgeben, keine Meinung zu haben. Mögliche Invasion in Italien.
Honestly, Your Eminence, I
No,
really
che
don't see it that way.
insegnerete l'educazione a questo giovanotto presuntuoso, Sir Gregory.
Ich kann kein Italienisch. Glück.
I hope that you will teach this pretentious young man some manners, Sir Gregory. It looks like I won't be just making friends here.
In any case, my lord, I doubt the English crown will agree.
Ich versichere Ihnen, Emily, nie Preußen wird diese Vereinbarung akzeptieren.
Ja. Klack.
I assure you, Emily, the Prussian will never accept this agreement. Volner looks like he's set on ruining Mortimer's plan.
Duchess, I am persuaded that we shall find a common ground.
That's enough, William. These are grave times. We don't care about the fate of Louisiana. That worthless expanse of putrid swamps interests no one but yourself.
Speak for yourself, my friend.
Hold on there, Mr. Royal Gigolo. Lower the volume, and let Sir Gregory finish.
Holm, Godoy, and now Volner? Mortimer's adversaries are ready to tear each other to pieces, and he takes a malicious pleasure in watching it happen.
How dare you!
Gentlemen, let us try to remain calm.
There you are, William. See where your projects have taken us, as per usual. Chaos! That's it. I'm tired. We shall continue this discussion tomorrow, but please be aware that your project will
Ich glaube, wir
never
haben
be
versaut.
ratified.
Cool.
Those who are opposed to this project, follow me.
Bin ich
Are you
gut in
coming with
sowas?
us, Monsieur de Richet? Come, Gregory. I think Louis would rather stay. Wouldn't you, Louis?
Mitgeben und Holm unterstützen. Ich weiß nicht.
As for me, I think I shall remain with Lord Mortimer, Sir Gregory.
You are committing a grave error, Louis.
Ich bleibe jetzt
Time
mal
will
bei
tell.
dem. Vielleicht kriegen wir noch ein paar Infos bezüglich unserer Mutter oder so. Oder was das Ganze genau soll. Und wir sind vielleicht etwas vorbereitet auf die nächste Diskussion. Aber ich bin so schlecht in sowas. Oh Gott, oh Gott, oh Gott. Ja, ja, so ist es, so ist es. Oh Gott. Ich hätte vielleicht von der möglichen Invasion in Italien reden sollen. Aber ihr wollt ja eh noch mit uns reden, also von daher...
My friends, I would like to thank you for staying.
Good God, William. What is this I hear about you reinforcing military power in Louisiana? I have no interest in having France for a neighbor, and you know that very well.
Calm down, George. Louis, explain our plan to Mr. Washington, please.
You see, Mr. President,
Frag
Lord
mal,
Mortimer
schön ins
anticipates
Haus.
that once France obtains Louisiana, they will cede it to you.
What do you mean? To us? The United States?
You heard right.
But
President Washington, the United States will double in size.
by what miracle have you...
You need to expand, George. You and France are the two major democracies in the modern world. It is necessary that you both become superpowers.
Are you really going to sponsor democracy throughout the world?
Of course, Monsieur Peru. That's why I don't want Spain to get too attached to those weapons. Please continue, Louis. Explain my vision to Mr. President.
Überzeugung. Logikstufe.
By going through France, Spain won't suspect that it's you who's going to take possession of Louisiana. They'll even believe that France will be a protective buffer between itself in California and you on the East Coast. If Senor Godoy was afraid that you might take the territory by force, now he is reassured. You would never attack France.
But why didn't you tell me before?
Den Schein zu wahren. Den Schein
So
zu
that
wahren.
Lord Mortimer would appear to be isolated without support.
Exactly. You got it, Louis.
Lord Mortimer retains the advantage by advancing undercover, and for it to work, he needed you to act surprised.
William, you haven't changed. Always one step ahead.
One step ahead? You're joking. More like 5.
On that note, my friends, it's getting late. Mr. President, continue to take offense over my project when we resume the conference in the morning. You do it to a T. And if Sir Gregory has the audacity to send you an emissary to convince you to go against me, do me a favor. String him along if you can. The more they believe we are divided, the more we'll have our hands free.
Only too happy to oblige.
Now, let us get some rest. We've got a big day tomorrow. Good night, gentlemen.
Good night.
Louis, if you have a minute, I would like to ask a favor of you. I'm going to require your services.
How can I be of help? Tell me all about it.
Our adversaries are many, and the closing vote of the conference will soon be upon us. Time is of an essence, so I'll need you to assist me this evening.
How can I help?
I need you to go this very evening to persuade Senor Godoy to join us. He is the backbone of Gregory's resistance. Turn him round, and all the others will follow in such a stampede that Gregory will be able to do nothing but admit defeat.
Lord Mortimer, with all due respect, don't you think I'm the last person Godoy wants to talk to?
I'm sure you can do it. I believe in you.
Verheimlicht etwas.
Lord Mortimer, you're not telling me everything.
Let's say I wouldn't disapprove if the Right Honorable, though nonetheless choleric, Duke Manuel put you in his bad books. If it could motivate him to declare war on France, it would greatly serve our interests.
War? What do you mean?
I told you before the conference. The more we distract Spain from the Americas, the less it will have an eye on Louisiana.
Warum soll man da
But
jetzt...
all the same, we're talking about a war.
Ja, ich wollte gerade sagen.
Don't worry. That's why Mr. Bonaparte is with us. I am convinced we'll be perfectly capable of managing the conflict. And Senor Godoy is not a great soldier. He will not commit Spain to a long war that he won't be capable of managing.
I'll go straight away.
Thank you, my boy. And get some rest afterwards. Big day tomorrow.
Okay, wir sollen jetzt einen Krieg an... Okay. Versuche Manuel Godoy zu überzeugen. Kriege ich hier noch ein paar Infos von euch?
Aren't you afraid our projects for Italy may be discovered before we... Oh. Please excuse us, Louis, but I need to speak with Lord Mortimer in private.
In
No.
private.
What do you want, Louis?
I'm going to have a word with Duke Manuel, but you know him better than I do, I believe.
Oh, das
Yes.
ist so dunkel. Auf einmal.
Avoid any marks of respect and protocol pertaining to his rank. He's not fond of courtly manners.
Aufgebaut.
Thank you for the
Also
advice,
keine
my lord.
Etikette. Okay.
When are we supposed to vote?
The conference resumes tomorrow morning. That leaves little time for the little favor I spoke to you about.
Indeed. I'll go straight away. I shall be leaving you.
Ist der andere jetzt auch weg? Das hat was. Was ist das?
Which four-letter word could open this chest?
Ich weiß es nicht. Da müsste ich vielleicht mal gucken. Da geht's runter. Es sind jetzt aber nur noch die zwei da. Sind die anderen beiden jetzt auch schon weg? Naja, dann ist das halt so. So, dann gehen wir eben mal. Na. Hallo? So, komme ich da jetzt aber wieder hoch? Nee, ne? Ja. Okay, dann wollen wir mal gucken. Versuche mal... Oh, jetzt muss ich den in seinem Zimmer aufsuchen, oder? So. Muss ich das auch wieder suchen? Oh, jetzt geht wieder die Rennerei los.
Hey,
Was denn?
Peru's name tag's fallen off, and his door's ajar.
Wieso Hä? Klopft hier wer? Ich höre doch ein Klopfen.
Duchess Emily Hillsborough.
Hä, ich höre doch ein Klopfen, eindeutig. Ach hier.